Big program here for you today. I want to begin. I want to welcome you to the 2021 Red Kettle kickoff here. This is the signature event for the Salvation Army of Tampa. I'm Jamison, Uhler, evening news anchor at ABC Action News here in Tampa, and I will be your host today. We all recognize the Red Kettle bells and the Red Kettles and the bells at Christmas time everywhere we go all around Tampa or wherever you go all across this great country. And today we're going to be going beyond the bells and beyond the kettle, and what we're going to tell you really what those famous kettles are about and really what they represent and mean to those out in our community as well. At ABC Action News, it has been an honor and a privilege for over a decade to be partnered with the Salvation Army here in Hillsborough County, as we've obviously always announced the Red Kettle kickoff, but as well as been a big sponsor of the Angel Tree program, where you can pick an angel or two. Sometimes people have taken a whole tree of names off of the tree, where they can return those unwrapped gifts back to their location where they got it from the tree. And it's such a wonderful event. It kind of changed a little bit last year with COVID, but it is back again this year, and we're so proud once again to partner with the Salvation Army, as well as to mention the Red Kettle campaign and the Angel Tree program in every single one of our newscasts from today all the way up until the final drop-off and donation day. It is an honor and a privilege to be part of that. And as a matter of fact, if you're so inclined, there is an angel tree out in the lobby today. You can pick a couple names off of there if you want and return it to the Salvation Army location nearest to you as well. We have several opportunities for you to help support the mission here of the Salvation Army. And one of those ways is we're going to raise funds here today by encouraging a little friendly competition while we're here today. We're going to do something a little bit different. On the table there in front of you is one of these cards right in front of you there. On there is a QR code. One of those QR codes there is for Major David Swyers, and then the other is a QR code for Coach Tony Dungy. And today we're going to ask you to pick a team. We're going to ask you what side you're on. Of course, we're all on the same team here today, and that is for the Salvation Army. But you can pick a team, or if you want, you can also hedge your bets. 20 here and 20 there. We're not gonna knock you for that as well if you want to do that, so we're okay with that. Pick a team, scan the QR code there with your camera phone. If you're not technology savvy, just open up your phone, hover over one of those QR codes, click the link there, follow the prompts, and donate to the team of your choosing. And at the end of the lunch here today, we're going to see who has won. Is it going to be Major David or Coach Dungy? Of course, all of the funds are going to go to support the critical work of the Salvation Army here in Hillsborough County. Also in front of you, you'll see an envelope just like this as well, where we have pledge forms. If you can take some time during the program and fill those out, and we're going to collect those today at the end of the event. McNichols Company is also right here joining us today. We're so grateful for their partnership, and they're going to match all of our donations here today up to $25,000. As I told Gene just a short time ago, it would be great if we can make him write a really big check to us today. He's already done it, but we're going to have him do a little bit extra at the end of today's event. So the more you give, the more he is going to match. At this time, I'd like to bring up Gene McNichols. He's the president of the McNichols Company and today's presenting sponsor, to say the prayer before we start our program. Gene?
We are so thankful to have Jamison and his network here representing us. It's just terrific. One of the things, too, when we pray today, let's look this booklet over real well, and we're going to pray for just a few of the things that are in here, but there's so many programs that are so important at the Army. So let's make our beginning in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Jesus, we come to you this morning with thankful hearts during this Thanksgiving and Christmas celebration season. We are so thankful that we can gather together to pray, volunteer, and learn about the Doing the Most Good theme and kick off the Red Kettle program. We are also excited to learn more about and be involved with the Angel Tree Project. We ask the Holy Spirit would lead each step of the way in those efforts. We thank you for the wonderful leadership of Major David and Captain Beth Swyers, and their staff and the advisory board. We thank you for the Tony Dungy family and their leadership this year. Thank you again for all the wonderful volunteers here today and the ones who will carry out your work this year. We ask a special blessing for all those who may consider giving a gift to the best army in Tampa Bay and in the world. Now, we ask you to bless our meal and our fellowship, and we praise you for it. To God be the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
At this time, I would like to welcome the 2021-2022 Advisory Board Chairman, Dale Peterson. Dale.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Thank you, Jamison, for doing this, and thank you, Jean, for your wonderful message, your powerful message, and thank you for your company's continued support on Salvation Army. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Dale Peterson. I'm the 2021-2022 Board Chair for the Salvation Army of Tampa. It's an honor and a blessing to serve this wonderful organization. And I want to take a few minutes to thank our fellow board members, our committee members, and past board members in the room, and also our elected officials. I know we have a number of elected officials in the room today, so I would ask all of those people to stand up and please be recognized. Thank you, everybody. By serving on this board, we have become advocates and supporters and defenders of the most vulnerable population in Hillsborough County. It is an honor to be part of an organization that is working to eliminate homelessness and poverty in our city. Every day we work to restore hope and transform lives. We, again, thank you for being here, and we want to remind you, as Jamison talked about, to either pick up the pledge card or the scan code for Coach Dungy or for Major David, and we encourage you to do that before the end of the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Dale. I'll be bringing in our new Tampa leadership here in just a bit, Captain Beth Swyers and Major David Sweirs, to tell you more about the Salvation Army and the critical work that they are doing here in Hillsborough County. But at this time, let's go ahead and take a short break. Let's enjoy those salads and your lunch, and I'll be back up here in just a little bit. Thank you. All right, I know you guys are having some great conversations here today and hopefully catching up with some old friends and making new friends here as well. I'm going to get this train back on the track here just a little bit as we move forward. I do want to give you an update here because it looks like the Dungy family is winning by about $200 at this point. Doing pretty well, but so's Major David. I mean, doing okay. So we'll keep that tally going as we go throughout the morning and or should I say the afternoon at this point. Hope you're all enjoying your lunch. I want to talk a little bit about the area commanders here and what they do in our area and how they lead the work of the Salvation Army in large cities everywhere, as well as the Tampa Bay area. We're so excited to welcome our newest officers to the Salvation Army of Tampa this year. Captain Beth Swyers and Major David Sweirs moved here 6 months ago from Kerrville, Texas, to direct and lead the work of the Tampa Area Command. It's more than a career path or family tradition. The Salvation Army has been a calling for this family as well as their 6 children. And just talking to the major just a short time ago, this is really not foreign land for him. He is a USF Bull, so he is here coming home. There he is. There's a little bit of a homecoming for him as well, but we're certainly glad he's back home, and we want to give him a warm Texas to Tampa welcome if we could. Please join me in welcoming Major David Sweirs.
Just take a moment and look around the room. I want to say thank you for all that you've done and all that you do to move the mission and the change in the lives of people. We have a kettle here, and we're having the competition here. The change goes in here, but the change happens in the lives of the people that we serve. And none of that is possible without your support. And your support only comes out of trust for what we do each and every day. Beth and I are generational Salvation Army officers. As was just said, I am a proud USF grad. I moved here in 1994 to go to college. I soon started working for the Salvation Army. My first ministerial job was as a youth director at the Salvation Army on Sly Avenue. And the gentleman who hired me is actually in this room, Colonel Ron Bushrow. I sit across the hall right now from where I used to work. And it really has come full circle for me. Also in Tampa, attending the Salvation Army Church is where I was called into full-time ministry myself. Never in my wildest dream did I ever imagine that one day I would come back and have this privilege of standing before you. The Salvation Army has been serving in Tampa and Hillsborough since 1893. Open every day, 365, every moment. The English Empire used to say the sun never sets on the empire, but I can say the same thing about the Salvation Army worldwide. The sun never sets on the work of the Salvation Army. Where there is hurt in humanity, you will find the Salvation Army. At the heart of what we do, we start with feeding, sheltering, and clothing the hurting humanity. Our command lives by two words each and every day. Those two words are stewardship. We promise to be good stewards of all that the Lord has provided, whether it our person, our time, or our talents, or the gifts of money that the Lord provides to us. And each and every day, being a good steward means we will affect the lives of others. If there is a decision to be made and it does not make the life of others better, then it is not a decision that we move forward on. In that, it goes to these two things that we strive to do. We want to restore hope to the lives of those that we come in contact with, and we want to transform lives of those that we come in contact with. And that is only possible because of you all and the support that you have for us. The trust that you have in us makes possible the ability to bring about hope and transformation. Our first name is salvation. Our last name is Army. Hope marches on. Each day, our faith is a verb, and we need to live that way. Now, there is this great competition, and I will say, Coach, I'm not going to talk trash because I know better. I never thought I would be this close. When I had this idea in the office, and there we go. That's okay. That's really okay. When I had this idea in the office, they looked at me, the team said, "Do you think Coach would be okay with this?" And I said, "The man has a yellow gold jacket because he kept score. He loves this." And that led me to this great quote that anyone who watches sports can remember. You play to win the game. Hello, you play to win the game. You don't play just to play. Now, Coach, you'll notice that it's a two-person competition because if we had added Lauren, I would have been in third, you'd have been in second, and we'd have to listen to Lauren talk about how we didn't even have a chance. I have more than $2. Look at that right there. Somebody, seriously, I'm on the stage talking. You would think you would give money to my team. He's not even said hello yet. When he says hello, you can give, but it would be okay to see that go up by $1 or something. I want to say thank you to Coach and to Lauren. When we moved to town, we had this beautiful building going up, and we'll talk more about that. But the Dungeys signed up and led the charge to be our capital campaign chairs. And when we moved to town, Beth and I wanted to continue that relationship, and we asked if they would be our Christmas ambassadors, and I tell you, the text was answered within 2 minutes. and they said, we want to be on the team again. And we're so grateful that we, as the Army, are someone that people trust. Now, there's going to be a short video that we'd like to draw your attention to of one of our programs.
We all fall sometime, and to know that there's a place to come to that's not going to judge you and not going to push you down for anything, but help you get back up on your feet and go again. That what really got in my heart about the Salvation Army. My name is Butler, and I served 12 years in the Navy. I was released as the 6th machinist mate. I'm here in Tampa and at the Salvation Army, and I'm here because I have 3 kids here in Tampa, 3 daughters and some grandkids, and being here at the Salvation Army allows me to reacquaint myself with them from being away for so long, and to get to know my grandkids, and to be in a safe place as I do that, and to be able to communicate with them in a way to where it's not stressful and they're not worried about me. And programs like this here is not just for veterans, but it's for everyone to come here, and it's a safe place to come, and they treat you well. They make sure that if you want something, you have to talk. You got to be able to express yourself and let them know what it is you want. But if you can do those things, they will help you get back on track. But if I can, I'd like to thank the people that allows me to be in this program, who make it possible for this program to be. And it's not just my sentiment, but most people that I talk to in this program feel the same way, that they have a chance of starting over, a fresh chance, a clean chance. No one's done for out there. If you want help, the Salvation Army can help you out.
When we were outside meeting each and every one of you, you met myself, and then my wife would be met at a different time. And I joked at our table, they said, oh, we met your wife. I said, oh, my better half. And they said, no, she's 75% of you. You're maybe 25% at best. That is very true. I was very flattered that I was still 25%. I would like to welcome to the stage my wonderful wife, Captain Beth Swyers, to tell you a little bit more about the work that we're doing in Hillsborough County.
Good afternoon. We are glad to be here. I was glad when we got the call that we were coming to Florida. We were coming back to the East Coast, which is my home. So we are definitely glad to be here. This Christmas season, as you saw the angel tree out in the lobby, we took applications in October, and this year we have 709 families, which comes out to about 2,000 children that we will provide clothes and toys to. We also this year took some applications and put some seniors on our tree. As I was interviewing one of our seniors, the lady said to me, can I put a walker down? I need a new walker. I've just had a heart transplant. And I was like, absolutely, I'd be happy to get you a walker and a Bible. I need a Bible. So which I immediately went to our chapel and gave her a Bible. Some of our seniors, they get forgotten. So this year we put a few on our tree to be included with our children. On our Sunday morning programs that we have at our church, we believe that a lot of our children that we service with our church, they don't get very many hot meals. So on Sunday morning, we serve breakfast to our children. We have about 50 kids that come on Sunday morning. And then after breakfast, we have our music programming. So we have a beginner band, an intermediate band, an art class, and a dance class. Then we have our kids programs during church where they learn about the Bible and the Salvation Army. We have a teen program. Our teens sometimes, they come to church and that's all they want to do. But we have a teen program that teaches our teenagers how to be leaders in the church. And they do that every week, and they come and study. On Monday nights, we once again serve our children dinner. They have a singing company where they all come together and they get to sing. They don't read music yet, but they make a joyful noise, and we appreciate them. After singing company, they go to what we call our character building classes, where they learn about the Salvation Army, but they learn about safety, they learn about their community. We've had the firefighters come out. So different activities for our children to learn about the community around them and the people around them, and not just looking inward, but how we can look outward and help others. The clip I'm about to share with you on the video highlights the importance of our music, arts, and character-building programs in our community.
My name is Rodney Jean, and I work for the Tampa Salvation Army as the music director. So a little backstory about me is that I grew up in Miami, a small home, a single parent household, and the Salvation Army took me in and got me introduced to the brass band. And I didn't know anything about like brass banding or anything. I just knew that I liked music. I liked music before coming in, so it automatically just caught my attention when I found out there was like a brass band that played every Sunday morning.
My name is Dominique Dalia Ramos Reynoso. The Salvation Army is basically just straight up my family. I started playing the cornet 4 years ago. I started just from zero. What I want to do 5 years, the next future, is still be playing here, is still being part of it, and still making those people in the artists sing with all their heart and smile throughout.
The vision that I have for the Tampa Salvation Army for the music program is just to start a youth brass band for the Salvation Army. I felt my main vision is not only to start a brass band, but to get them closer to God. You know, just giving them that sense of it's bigger than just playing, it's bigger than just, you know, having fun, but it's, you know, having that relationship with God.
We'd like to take a moment and recognize our sponsors for today's events. Without their support, the work we do in Hillsborough County would not be possible. We first would like to thank the McNichols organization for being a presenting sponsor. Thank you. We also would like to thank the New York Yankees for being a presenting sponsor. We'd also like to give a big thank you to Amscott Financial and Baycare for being our Beyond the Bell sponsors. And I'm now going to turn the stage back over to you, Jamison.
Major David, Captain Beth, thank you so much. As I'm taking a look here at the latest numbers, Major David, you're down by about 800. I did notice that Coach's numbers went up while you were talking, but then your numbers went up when Beth was talking. So I just wanted to point that out as I kind of saw the tallies going up there. And don't worry, sometimes Coach is going to be dropping back into prevent here at some point soon. You might get a couple cheap points there too. By the way, if you want to host or create or your own kettle at your business or out in your community, we have information out on the lobby after today's program as well. The next man I'm about to introduce needs really no introduction, but the program here says I have to do it. So we all know who he is, but he is our featured speaker today, Coach Tony Dungy. He is a former NFL player. As you know, he served as head coach for 13 seasons, first with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and then the Indianapolis Colts. Coach Dungy began his coaching tenure in 1996 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, leading them to 4 playoff appearances. Coach Dungy then served as the Colts head coach for 7 seasons, and his greatest success happened after he left here, unfortunately for us, but he did great with the Colts Super Bowl winning season in 2007. He now serves as an analyst on NBC's top-rated Sunday night program, Football Night in America. Coach Dungy was inducted, by the way, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2016. He is not wearing his yellow jacket here today. The Salvation Army of Tampa, proud to have Coach Dungy and his wife Lauren serve as ambassadors for the 2021 Christmas season. The Tony Dungy family, they're active volunteers as well as bell ringers out in our community. Every once in a while, if you go to your local grocery store, you may see him and Lauren out there ringing a bell incognito. It does happen. We are so honored to have him here today, so honored to have him part of the Salvation Army, and just a beautiful thing to see him and his family walking their faith and displaying it out in our community. Without further ado, Coach Tony Dungy.
Thank you, Jamison. It's great to be here and exciting to be out with you at this event today. Jamison's doing a great job. He is actually the most important person here today because he has been tasked to keeping us on time and keeping it moving, getting you able to go back to work. He graciously gave me 13 minutes on the script for this. I said, that's 1 minute longer than I'm used to because half times in the NFL are 12 minutes. So I have never given a speech more than 12 minutes long. But I do appreciate the extra minutes, sir. And I was telling David Swyers, I kind of expected to be behind when I came up. And I was going to give you my 12-minute halftime speech to pump you up. The last time I was kind of in that spot, you may remember it, was a Monday night game here against the Buccaneers, and we were down 21-0. And things weren't going right, so I said, boy, I'm going to need my best halftime speech ever because we're playing so badly, and we really need this game. So I thought about what I was going to say. I went into the locker room, and I said, guys, we're playing bad. And if we don't start playing better quickly, we're going to lose. And with that, we came out, scored 35 points in the second half, and won the game. So those are the kind of speeches I'm used to giving, those real rousing, motivational, just everything deep down inside. And I was going to get ready to give you one of those if I was a couple of $1,000s behind. But you've spared me the opportunity to do that, and I think spared yourself from hearing that, so I appreciate it. We do need to give Mr. Swires some support, though, so if you want to chip in a little bit for him, that's okay. I'm really here today representing my wife, Lauren. I'm involved, but I'm involved because she is. Kind of tell you how all this started, and it goes back to 1977. That's a long time ago, but I was a rookie player with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1977. Very, very excited. The Steelers were in the midst of a 4 Super Bowl run there in 6 years. I'm playing for a legendary coach, Chuck Noll. I'm a good student, so I'm doing what my mother would tell me to do, which is sit in the front row, be the first one in the meeting, have my notebook out ready to take notes. And so I am there in May of 1977 with my spiral notebook, 2 or 3 pens ready to go. And Coach Noll comes in and he says, welcome to the National Football League. You're getting paid to play football now, so that makes it your profession. But please, men, please do not make football your entire life. If you make football your life, you're going to make a mistake. So I'm here to help you find out what you want to do in life, what you want to support. And the first thing you've got to find out is how you can make your community a better place to live. We don't want you here just to make Pittsburgh better from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. We want you here to make Pittsburgh a better place 24/7. I'm writing all this down as a 21-year-old, and I had to stop myself a couple times. Don't make football your whole life. Really? Gee, I've kind of made it my whole life so far. That's why I thought I was here. Make your community a better place to live. And it hit me. And I was very, very fortunate that we had a lot of veteran players who had been there and heard that and understood, and they took that upon themselves, and they showed us how to do that and taught us that. So by the time I left Pittsburgh, it was part of me and part of the fiber of don't make football your whole life, make your community a better place to live, and I got to see how people did that. Fast forward, I have a couple different stops. Kansas City Chiefs, Minnesota Vikings, 1996. Almost 20 years after I heard that talk, I come to Tampa. Now I'm married with my wife, Lauren, and we're in this together. Okay? I'm going to give the same speech to my players, and Lauren is on the team too. She is a big, big part of me helping make Tampa a better place to live. She organized the wives hey, we're going to be part of this too. We're going to join our husbands. We're going to be involved, and we're all in this together. Well, it was great. It was awesome. We were here 6 years, wonderful 6 years. And what she would do is take the wives different places. Where can we volunteer? Where can we go? And they'd go around looking for places, and they bonded that way as the players' wives and coaches' wives. Well, I went to Indianapolis and was there 7 years, had a wonderful time, ended up winning the Super Bowl, same operation there, but then we came back. We came back here in 2009. And Lauren still wanted to do that, and she still wanted to be involved. She got a ladies group, and they started doing the same thing, even though she wasn't involved with the Bucks anymore. But one of the places her ladies group stopped and volunteered was the Salvation Army. And my goodness, did my life change after that. She came back and said, you've got to see this place. You've got to see what they're doing. And I was like, okay, I know the Salvation Army, and here's what I knew about the Salvation Army. Okay? That they had the kettle ringers out there. You put a little money in, and you feel good about your donation, and you know it's going to help the community. And then I also knew that there was a place you could take things that you didn't use anymore, and they would sell them at a good price to people who really needed them. And I thought, yeah, that's fantastic. That's great that the Salvation Army does that. Well, when she got me down there, not too far from here, and I saw the things that you see on the video, I got to see them live. I got to see firsthand the real people experiencing this. And I was like, I had no idea they help the veterans out. I have no idea that they have young people, children there. I had no idea that they help the homeless. I had no idea all the things that were going on, education and the things that they do. And I didn't even know what David said. I didn't even know Salvation Army, what it stood for. Okay, I knew what salvation is, but I had no idea that there was a gospel element, that they're not just helping people learn how to survive and get better. They're helping people grow with their life and come closer to the Lord and understand where God is and where Jesus is in all this. So I'm there, and I'm really amazed at all this. And so Lauren got me hooked in, and I said, yeah, we've got to get involved. And so then it became very easy to go out and be a bell ringer and serve, because you really believe in what you're doing. So I'm just thankful to be here today, thankful that you're all here to kick this off. We've got a new, not a new building, but a refurbished building coming up, and we've got more needs. We all know what COVID has done, and we sit there and say, oh my, I didn't get to go to the Bahamas this year because of COVID. Well, it's a lot more serious than that, and there are people who it's impacted, and it hasn't just been cutting the luxuries out for them, it's been cutting the necessities out. So we can help. We all can help, and it's great that you're here. And I'm just going to leave you with one last word and one last thought about helping. This is what the Salvation Army is all about, but this is from my mother when I was growing up, and it's really from the Bible. And it's a parable, it's a story that Jesus told about helping other people. And it's in the book of Matthew, and Jesus is talking about this king who has people, and he's either going to reward them or he's going to punish them for if they've done well, he's going to reward them, and if they haven't done well, he's going to punish them. And he says something here that I've never forgotten. My mother's told it to me 100 times. He says, excuse me, I'm going to get here to verse 40 of Matthew 25, and he says, and then the king will say, the people say, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you? Lord, when did we ever see you thirsty and give you something to drink? Or when did we see that you were a stranger and show you some hospitality? Lord, when did we ever see you sick and in prison and visit you? We never did that. And the king will say, I tell you the truth, When you did it for one of the least of my brothers and sisters, you did it for me. So think of that. God commending us for helping someone who really needs it and saying, when you did it for that person, you really were doing it for me. And that's what the Salvation Army is all about. That's why we're here today, and that's why we can just dig a little deeper this holiday season and say, you know what? Let's do it for the Lord. Let's do it for one of the least of these here in Tampa. Make our city a better place to live. Thank you so much.
Coach, that might have been one of your best halftime speeches ever. At this time, I would like to welcome Major David Swyers back up here to the stage. Major David.
Listening to Coach, I will tell you that's the perception most people, oh, there we are. Still, it's more than $2, so I'm still happy with it. Listening to Coach speak, the perception that the Salvation Army has are our fundraising, bells and thrift stores, how we raise the money, not what we do. And that's why we have these meetings and these gatherings to help educate who we are. And as I said, salvation is our first name. I started following Coach on Twitter probably 2 years ago, long before I ever knew I would be coming to Tampa. And this is just an outside plug. They're getting upset at me, Coach, because this is not in my notes. If you want to know what the sermon was about from Sunday, read his tweet on Monday. If you want to know what his prayer life is about as he takes his walks, he will tell you. If you want to know why your football team lost because of these 3 mistakes, he will also let you know that. But it's so insightful and so inspiring for me as I follow people who encourage me to be better today than I was yesterday and more like him tomorrow than I am today. As Coach referenced, right up the street, we have our newly remodeled facility happening at this moment. I'm very excited because I'm going to leave from this meeting. I'm going to go look at it. I haven't seen it since they started moving in furniture. Once you start moving in furniture, you're getting really, really close. And my wife is super excited because we share an office right now, and she cannot wait to get me out of there. As many of you know and have been a part of, we've been working over the past several years to develop a long-range plan to consolidate and focus our facilities and services located here in Tampa in the Hillsborough area. Our goal is to maximize the impact on the lives of the families that we've been entrusted to take care of. I'm delighted to tell you, by the hard work of the board, our team, and you, we are so close to opening our newly renovated 39,000 square foot state-of-the-art one-stop social service and residential center. If you've ever stepped foot in the building prior to when it reopens, you will have no idea where you are. The only thing that has stayed the same are the outside walls and the pillars that hold up the building. Everything else has been reimagined so that when you step foot in, change comes out. We have great partners that we work with. I've mentioned a couple times I'm a South Florida Bull, and I have a couple of Bulls on the board with us. And one of them, one of my board members said, "I've got someone I want you to meet." And he introduced me to the Dean of the College of Nursing, Dean Uhler. She's with us today and her team. And she asked us what she can do. What is it that South Florida could help us with? And we talked to her about education. We have so many people who come into our program who do not know the medicine that they're taking. They do not know what the effects on their health are with the problems that they have in life. And then we talked about our other programs with respite care and our great partners with hospitals here in this town, and how wonderful it would be if we could really go in and diagnose and change the person completely, holistically. So her team came to our facility while still under construction, and I said, here's a vision. She heard it and went light years past us. I took her outside to an old basketball court, and I said, I could visualize a clinic, Salvation Army, South Florida Health, right here in this spot. And the dean is out there, and she's walking like this. She's measuring out the steps and said, I can put 3 rooms here, I can put a lab here, I can put a waiting room here. And as they're dreaming, as I'm hearing, all I can imagine is someone comes to see us. We have that hand up. We lift them to their feet. Each one goes in for a health check where they're walked step by step back to health. They meet with our caseworkers and our life coaches and all the other people that we have in our building that move people along. And I was moved that I would be a part of that. You see, it's not so much just having a nice shiny building, because I think if that's all our goal was, then we have done a great disservice to what God has given to us. I believe if we leave it where we found it, then I am like the one who has hidden the talent and done nothing with it. But we as a people, we as a Salvation Army, we as a team need to move it forward. And we can do that because of you and the one that we serve. I want to tell you about a man that I met in the building. I'm walking in, and in the new front area where you come through, it's beautiful, nice tile. There's nothing institutional about the facility at all. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the luxury vinyl tile as I'm standing on this nice, beautiful ceramic tile. My wife will tell me there are 8 different types of flooring in the building. She's counted. And I'm looking at this man lay the flooring next to me. He leans up, looks around, and it's just the 2 of us. And he says, this is the most beautiful recovery and housing center I've ever been in. And I said, you know, we're really proud of it. He said, I came through here 13 years ago. I was down, out, lost. Everyone had given up on me. 13 years ago, I didn't have anything. I came to you, and you helped. 13 years later, I own a company, and I'm laying the flooring in the building that changed and saved my life. I got goosebumps because I got to be part of that. Because someone a long time ago did the right thing. They welcomed in those that were hurting. They provided a way by showing love and compassion. And out of that came someone who is new, successful, and giving back. We have many people who help us, and one of them is right over here at our table, Les. Now, just listen to the sacrifice and the using of God's gift that he gives back so freely.
The Salvation Army offers a lot of kindness. And one thing people don't know is what happens behind the doors or behind the desk. I didn't know what these people did until I got behind the desk and I got into an office, and these people do a tremendous job. And it was one day, and it had to be the Lord, that gave me this idea to contact the Salvation Army and offer my services, no charge to anyone, just to offer their services. Most homeless people have a mental illness, but then, there are other things that brought people to homelessness, like it could be getting involved with the wrong person. And then there are others that came from out of state, running from something or someone, and found themselves here, really in a mess, all of them really in a mess, and needing some guidance. And this place offers that in a multiplicity of ways. And I am just thankful that one of the elements that is being offered to them is true counseling based on the Word of God, so these people can have an opportunity to not only turn their lives around, but give their lives to the Lord. Give. Give your time, give your money, give your patience, give from the gifts that God has given you. Give from the talents that God has shown you. In fact, the Bible says your gift will make room for itself. If you know your gift, if it has made room for itself, lend it. The Bible says, he that lendeth to the poor, I will repay. And God is not a man that he should lie. He's going to stand on his word, and he's going to make that come true. And if you volunteer from your heart, you'll begin to change lives. Because I'm telling you, some of these people, a lot of them, maybe even most of them, are just looking for someone to be kind. There's a story in the Bible where Peter and John were coming to the temple, and at the gate beautiful, there was a man that was laid there every day, begging for alms. Now, he was wounded from his mother's womb. So from his mother's womb, he was lame. But what got me with this story is that every day he was taken to the gate, but he was not taken through the gate. How many times do we take people to the gate and drop them? A few more steps to get them through the gate can get them into the presence of God.
Thank you again to all the volunteers like Les who demonstrate one of the many ways the Salvation Army is changing lives here in Tampa. Les, could you please stand and be recognized for your work? Thank you. Because of the tremendous generosity of those who support the Luncheon, Salvation Army has been able to provide this year alone over 35,000 nights of shelter, 73,000 meals, and 1,500 individuals with rent and utility assistance. Today, you may be the guest of someone who has sponsored a table. We greatly appreciate those sponsorships. At the same time, we want to give everyone in the room a chance to give. I would certainly ask and humbly ask from the heart that each one of you would consider all the good and work you've been hearing about that is being done right here in Tampa. And I would ask that you guys, each individual, take one of the pledge cards on your table or scan in the QR, the code, to support either Major David Swyers or the Dungey family team. And of course, you can always give virtually if you want us to send your support that way. What we're doing here is we're restoring hope and transforming lives. And it's through your support that we're going to continue to do that. In a few short minutes, we're going to have Major David Sweirs come back up, and he'll let us know the winner of the virtual Kettle contest between Coach Dungy and Major David. And as a reminder, we want to thank the McNichols Company for all of their continued support. And what they've graciously done out of the kindness of their heart is they said they're willing to match every dollar that's donated here today. So let's make them write a really, really big check. Thank you very much.
I want to ask for that to come back up. I hope it hadn't changed. Looky there. Yeah, you can take it away now because it could change any moment. I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up today, for saying we support you, we believe in you, and we trust you. And I want to promise you right here that each day you can know that we will do the right thing at the right time all the time. We will make sure that we wake up and we think of others first and we move them along through life We will leave them better than we found them, because that is what we are called to do. So thank you to everyone in this room. Now, it is my privilege to welcome Howard, our board member from the New York Yankees. The Salvation Army and the New York Yankees have a partnership that goes back at least 30 years. We want to thank you. If we have never said thank you, we want to make sure you understand that we are better because of you and your relationship with us. So thank you so much. I'm going to ask Coach, if you would. Can you come up here, Coach, as we see this happen right here? Howard is going to make a donation.
Thank you. This is my favorite time of the year because I get to use somebody else's money to give it away. But the New York Yankees are excited and honored to present the first gift for the Kettle season. Without your support, the Salvation Army could not carry on its good work 365 days a year. Remember that the need of the Army is all year round. Just because the Salvation Army is highlighted during the holiday season, it doesn't mean that hunger and homeless goes away. The Salvation Army needs your help 365 days a year. The Salvation Army cares for the poor, feeds the hungry, houses the homeless, rehabilitates the broken, and attends to the need of those who may appear invisible to the rest of society. But we know from this luncheon and from all year round that they're here and they need our help. The Salvation Army serves all people without discrimination in the Lord's name. Thank you so much for being with us here today to celebrate the mission of the Salvation Army here in Tampa. At this time, I would now like to invite a special guest to the stage. Please welcome Julia Steinbrenner to make a very special presentation.
So bright up here. Hi, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm honored to be here to represent my family and the Yankees organization and foundation. This is such an incredible organization, as David said, that we've been supporting since I think my grandfather started the foundation many, many years ago. It's very well deserved, and appreciate everything that you guys have donated so far today. And I concur. Sir, I would like for you to write a very big check at the end of this, and very appreciative of your support as well. So I am very, very honored to be here to present a check for $25,000 from our foundation to you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm sure there's somebody taking a photo of that. There it is. Thank you. There are a few people I want to thank.
Which side is that going to?
Oh, it's going to my side. Oh, no, it's going to Coach's side. Sorry. Sorry. Did you see his look? Coach, it's going to you. For a moment, I just really wanted to win, just for a second. But that fourth quarter comeback, you always seem to do that. I want to thank our team. You know, you don't thank your people enough. So to our team that's in this room who help us each and every day do what we do, they're over there. Thank you. We appreciate you, and we love you. Also in this room are Beth and my divisional commanders, our bosses. They're sitting up front. Colonels Ken and Don Light, they're responsible for the entire state of Florida, and they brought with them their team who is sitting throughout the room. So thank you for your support of what we do here. We are grateful to each and every one of you. To Jamison, thank you so much. You feel like you do this for a living. You get up in front of people and you talk, and we're so grateful that you gave freely of your time to be with us, to help us, to tell our story. So thank you. And to Tony and Lauren Dungy. When we first talked with him on our Zoom call, they told us, it's rare that you have 6 children and you meet somebody and you're like, ooh, how do you do it? When you have 9 children, and that day they were taking in 3 more foster children, just let that sink in. That moment right there, if it doesn't tell you all you need to know about the character of those 2, then I don't know what you need to hear. If you can't tell that he's a godly man who wants to do the right thing every day, I don't know what you're listening to. But we are proud and we are grateful, Coach, to you and to Lauren for the support that you give to us. Thank you so much. All right, let's look at that screen one last time. Now add 25,000, Coach. He's got 30,174. My goodness, look how much money we raised in this room today. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. Thank you, and may the Lord bless you in a mighty way. May he bless your families and let you see him working each day in the world around you. Thank you so much for coming. May God bless you.